If you've ever opened an inspection report and felt your stomach drop, you're not alone. But here's the truth that most people don't hear. Inspection issues don't kill deals in South Florida, but panic does. After thousands of inspections on both the buyer and seller side, I've seen deals fall apart, not because homes were falling apart, but because information got misinterpreted, language got heavy, and fear took over. By the end of this video, you'll know which inspection issues actually matter, which ones just sound scary, and how to keep a solid deal from blowing up. The inspection period is one of the most emotionally charged moments in any real estate transaction. Buyers start imagining worst-case scenarios. Sellers feel like everything they've worked for is suddenly under attack. And in South Florida, with our humidity, aging systems, and conservative inspection language, it's very easy for normal findings to feel catastrophic if no one slows down the process and adds context. Handled the right way, inspections are just information. Handled the wrong way, they can derail a perfectly solid deal. In this video, I'll break down how to tell the difference between inspection issues that actually matter and the ones that don't. Why big systems like roofs and HVAC are often misread in South Florida, and how bringing in the right professional will keep your transaction calm and intact. Let's talk about the word that derails more deals than almost anything else in South Florida: moisture. The moment buyers hear that word, their mind jumps straight to leaks, mold, and structural damage. And I get it, moisture sounds serious. But here's the grounding truth that rarely gets explained clearly. Moisture meters detect presence, they don't detect the cause. They tell us that moisture exists, but not where it's coming from, how long it's been there, or how serious it actually is. In South Florida, moisture is common. We live in a hot, humid climate. Air conditioning systems run hard. Condensation happens every day. Drain lines back up. Minor plumbing issues show up. If you remember nothing else from this inspection, remember this: moisture does not automatically mean a leak. Moisture does not automatically mean mold. Moisture does not automatically mean structural damage. What moisture does mean is that the next step is diagnosis, not panic. At a recent inspection where I represented the seller, on paper it could have gone very, very wrong. Moisture was detected and the inspector couldn't determine the source. The language leaned heavily into uncertainty, which from a buyer's perspective is really unsettling. That's where imaginations start running. But with a construction background and thousands of inspections behind me, the likely source was clear to me. The moisture was closest to the air conditioning system, one of the most common sources of moisture-related issues in South Florida homes. Instead of escalating fear, the buyer's agent handled it beautifully. She and I didn't argue the report. We didn't minimize concerns. We brought in the right professionals: an HVAC specialist and a plumber to diagnose the issue properly. The source was confirmed, it was addressed, and it was resolved. The seller took responsibility, the buyer got real answers instead of speculation, and the deal stayed intact. That's how inspections are supposed to work. This is a really important piece that gets misunderstood. Home inspectors are generalists. Their job is to observe, document, and recommend further evaluation when something falls outside what they can reasonably confirm during a few hours on site. An inspection report isn't a verdict, it is a starting point. Inspectors are not diagnosing root causes. They aren't predicting system lifespan, and they aren't designing repair solutions. That doesn't make them the enemy, it makes them an asset. Problems arise when reports replace conversations or when confusion is interpreted as final judgment. Almost every inspection negotiation comes down to the same 5 systems. Roof language is some of the most conservative you're ever going to see. Phrases like end of useful life often get interpreted as failure, even when there are no active leaks. Inspectors are not roofers. Don't confuse their opinion with that of a licensed roofer. As far as plumbing goes, older systems like cast iron or polybutylene signal risk, not immediate failure. A plumber can clarify whether the issue is isolated or systematic, and that distinction will change everything. When it comes to electrical, Terms like outdated or non-current standards often relate to insurability, not immediate danger. A licensed electrician defines safety and scope, not the inspection report. HVAC systems work harder here in South Florida than almost anywhere else. Moisture near air handlers, drainage issues, and age-based notes are so common, and they are often, almost always, maintenance related. General inspections on pools are surface level. A pool specialist separates cosmetic wear from real mechanical concerns very, very quickly. The pattern is consistent. Inspectors flag, specialists clarify, and then deals can stay together. Choosing the right inspector makes a bigger difference than most people realize. You want somebody thorough, methodical, and calm in how they communicate findings. Someone who understands the difference between observation and speculation. Part of my job is helping clients identify inspectors who communicate clearly, not catastrophically. Balanced inspectors focus on facts, explain limitations, and keep the process grounded. Choosing the right inspector makes a bigger difference than most people realize. You want someone who is thorough, methodical, and calm in how they communicate findings. A good inspector explains what they're seeing, but also explains the limits of what they can know in that moment. Strong inspectors are comfortable saying this needs further evaluation without turning that statement into a worst-case scenario. They differentiate between safety issues, maintenance items, and things that simply reflect age or use. Red flags to watch for include absolutist language, diagnosing outside their scope, or creating urgency without confirmation. Those patterns don't protect buyers. They create unnecessary friction. A balanced inspector keeps the focus on facts, not fear, and that keeps transactions moving forward in a manner that protects the buyer. A proper inspection should never feel rushed. Most inspections take 2 to 3 hours depending on the home. All systems should be run. HVAC, appliances, plumbing fixtures, windows, outlets. A thorough inspection doesn't mean a scary inspection. It means no surprises later. Most deals don't fall apart because houses have issues. They fall apart because fear replaces facts, because speculation fills the gaps where clarity should be, because reports replace conversations. Deals stay together when problems are treated as solvable and not catastrophic. If you're going through an inspection right now, here are a few questions you could bring to your realtor to keep things grounded and productive. You need to know which items here are safety issues versus normal age or maintenance, and what actually needs a specialist to evaluate further. Which findings are common for homes in South Florida, and what items are solvable versus being deal breaking. A good inspection conversation should replace fear with clarity. And if you don't currently have a realtor, I come from a construction background, so I tend to focus on context, root causes, and real solutions. No panic, no minimizing, just clear information so you can make good decisions. Sometimes one calm conversation is all it takes to bring everything back into focus. If you have any inspection questions, drop them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my next video. Bye for now.